Greetings, everyone. Dimension 119 with the State of Survival podcast here. We're talking about Enshrouded and their second big update. Melodies of the Mire is Enshrouded's second update. Following a short 2 months after the successful Hollow Halls update, we get an update that's just as big and contains many exciting items. Everything from combat changes, enemy changes, a brand new place to explore, and so much more. One of my favorite things about Enshrouded is the exploration. And with this new update, they've put in a brand new area to explore called the Blackmire. Not far from the second Hollow Halls lies this place of both beauty and danger. The first thing you're going to notice when entering the Blackmire is the ground looks strange. And you're going to quickly realize that that's not the ground. That is tree roots. Because surrounding you is just massive trees reaching as close to the sky as they can. And the farther you go, the bigger the trees get. Shortly after that, you're going to find your first environmental danger, which is going to be the mud. And I don't just mean the mud like you find at the farms where it slows you down. I mean, when you step into this mud, you begin to sink. And if you don't have enough stamina to jump out, or you're too far away from land, you're going to sink to your death. I should probably also mention the creatures swimming around in the mud. So if you do end up getting out of the mud, you might get attacked by one of the creatures that was hoping for a fresh meal. This creature swimming around in the mud waiting for a snack is not the only new creature you're going to find in the Blackmire. You're going to meet other things such as giant bees that can shoot their stingers at you. You're also going to meet these purple pink wisp things that can multiply, launch themselves at you, and explode. And if that's not enough danger for you, you should know that some of the enemy combat abilities have changed as well. The Vuka tribes have not only been expanded, but now their shamans can actually block your melee attacks, which make them a lot more difficult to defeat. But don't worry, there is good news as well. They've also adjusted some of your combat abilities, as well as added new skills and made improvement to old skills. One of my favorite things to use in the game is the jump attack, and they've built upon that jump attack ability again. They've improved it to where you're not getting stuck in crowds of enemies when you're using it. When you're surrounded, it starts to push them back a couple of feet so that you're able to get out of there if you need to. But they've also made it feel more dynamic where you're not hitting your jump attack and falling straight down. You can kind of angle and control it to a certain extent and be able to move in the air just a little bit. They've also increased the base damage from the Merciless Attack skill from 400% to 500%. I love to see this. They did some improvements to Merciless Attack in the first update, and they've done even more here in the second update. They've also improved their two-handed weapon fighting. Before, you had to have a continuous combo going on to keep your hits coming. Now there's a short period of time you can pause between a couple of hits, and it'll change the way you do your third hit, say. It'll bring your hammer or your axe or whatever two-handed weapon you have over the top of your head for a more devastating direct strike on one creature instead of swinging that two-handed weapon out wide and hitting multiple creatures. Along with this update comes a brand new weapon type, dual wielded daggers. This is our first look at dual wielding as a player. We've seen it from the enemies before, but this is our first time seeing it from the player's perspective. Along with the new daggers comes some brand new skills and improved skills for multiple classes, one of which includes the daggers. The Ranger class now has the new skill Dagger Master, which increases damage dealt with daggers by 15%. They also get the new skill Slice and Dice, which increases the damage of the next bow attack by 50% after a dagger crit, as well as the skill Multi-Shot Spread. This skill adds a 25% chance to spawn an additional projectile to the Flurry of Arrows ability. This extra projectile is not subtracted from your backpack. The Mage class gets the skill Eternal Spark, which gives you a 20% chance to not consume durability with attacks. The Warrior classes get the Opportunity skill, which adds 100% to the multiplier of Merciless Strike and Sneak Attack. They also get the Finesse ability, which reduces durability loss with one-handed weapons and daggers, as well as the Steadfast ability. Defeating an enemy with a melee weapon restores 1 durability to that weapon. But not only can you fight better and hit harder, but you can look good doing it. They've introduced a Vanity system, which allows you to customize the way your character looks in the world without sacrificing the ability improvements that you would get from certain pieces of armor. For example, if you've got a plus 10 stamina regeneration pair of boots, but you don't like the way they look, you can put those on and hide them and show a different pair of boots. One of the things that we didn't mention earlier about the new Blackmire area is it brings with it a brand new NPC. This NPC allows you to craft a few new items, a few new texture blocks, as well as musical instruments. You can craft these musical instruments and use them in junction with your friends, and it allows you to rest and gives you an even higher rest bonus than what you would get sleeping in a bed or sitting next to a campfire. One of the first things we noticed when we started playing Enshrouded is that you didn't receive experience points for completing quests. You had to go farm experience from killing monsters, defeating shroud roots, or discovering locations. However, with this new update, we're going to start receiving experience from completing quests, which will advance us a lot farther and a lot faster. If you play on or run a large server with a lot of foot traffic in and out of the server, you're going to appreciate the server permissions aspect of this update. The server permissions are going to allow you to lock certain server permissions behind specific passwords. You're going to be able to give these passwords or assign these passwords to certain players, and when they log in with a specific password, they'll be able to have access to certain server abilities while others can't. And these things can range from being able to ban players and kick players all the way to allowing people to get into the chests of other players at other settlements. And there's so much more to this update that we didn't even cover today. If you want to check out more and get some more details, please click the link below and check out the patch notes for the full details of the Enshrouded update, and go play the Enshrouded and check it out yourself. And I am Dimension 119 with the State of Survival podcast, and as always, I will see you in another dimension.